Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Josh, and today we're going to talk about the top 10 dopest vintage starter pieces on eBay to kick off starter week. So let's get into it. So if you're a sports fan or have been a sports fan for a while, you've probably seen starter gear. They are sort of synonymous with fandom, starting in 1971, and they've put out some amazing products, especially for us sports fans. So we're going to talk about the top 10. We'll talk more about the company later on this week in further videos, but let's get into some of the coolest pieces that you can find out there on eBay. Right now, remember, this is just a subjective list, not objective in any way. These are just the coolest pieces that I found after searching through hundreds and hundreds of listings on eBay. The links are in the description below if you want to check them out for yourself, and maybe you're interested in buying one, I don't know, but if you just want to see more details, check it out in the links below. Now, one of the things that Starter was known for were its hats. The starter cap was super popular in the 90s, and this particular design, I believe it's called the Shockwave design, was definitely popular, and it's super valuable today. And here is the Devil Rays version of the Shockwave hat. I think this design is super cool. It has the old Devil Rays logo. Such an incredible piece. Definitely something that you want to have if you're a Devil Rays fan. It just stands out above all the other hats you could possibly be wearing. So super cool hat here. Now on to one of the most iconic starter silhouettes, and it's the starter jacket. This satin jacket with the knit cuffs looks super cool, and nobody really does it better than the Yankees. And this one is definitely a sick piece. Baseball fans love this thing. They wore these things throughout the 80s. These were super common. I believe the managers often wore them. So if you saw images from those games in the 80s and late 70s, you saw the managers and some of the other teammates wearing these jackets. It was super iconic. Now next up, whether you want to rep the movie or the professional hockey team, this jacket is for you. The Mighty Ducks starter satin jacket is super cool. Doesn't have a whole lot more going on like on a back hit or anything, but it's super smooth, just like subtle in all the right ways. Definitely gives you street cred with 90s movie aficionados and hockey fans. Now back to baseball. The starter jackets keep going in baseball. While the Yankees tend to maybe be more popular, I think the Braves starter jacket's even better. This starter jacket looks so good with that tomahawk across, huge lettering. This is perhaps, in my mind, the most notorious and iconic design of the starter jacket is the Braves one. I don't know why. I didn't grow up in Atlanta or anything, but for whatever reason, when I think of a starter jacket, I think of this particular jacket. Super cool, definitely styling. All right, this next one is a more rare piece because the team no longer exists, and that's the Houston Oilers starter jacket. In the mid-90s, they moved their team to Tennessee and later changed their name to the Tennessee Titans. So during sort of the peak period of the starter stuff, the starter brand, the Oilers had only a few years of production of their stuff, and this is definitely a huge and dope piece. If you're from Houston, it's historical, and the design is super cool with that oil rig, that oil well. That's super dope. I've had a handful of these. I'll tell that story later when I found $30,000 worth of starter and other mid-90s sportswear. We'll talk about that in another video, but this is definitely one of the coolest starter pieces you can find. Now here's one that's fairly relevant for right now because we have the Tokyo Olympics happening, and this one is from when we had the Olympics in America, in Atlanta. And this particular starter piece has got that huge Olympic graphic, super dope, gives you all the mid-90s vibes. Freaking love that logo and design, stretch out all across the jacket. This is like more their windbreaker style, but an incredible piece, super dope. Definitely want to have this if you want to rep your country during the Olympics. All right, now back to the hats. Again, starter caps were huge, and during the early 90s, what else was huge? Stay in school PSAs, and you have them here combined. I think this is such a super cool combination of colors, totally the vibe of the early 90s. And the NBA, you know, collab with the Stay in School program, and then Starter got involved, and this is a hat they produced. A rare find if you can find it, and this one in particular is dead stock, so it's even cooler. Definitely would like to get my hands on one of these. All right, next up is one of the more premium starter pieces, and it's this Suns leather jacket. Yes, it's going for a grip, but it's probably worth it. It's super cool. Suns gear, particularly from the 90s, was definitely stand out amongst the rest, just like the Hornets as well. But this one was just so fly. All the color blocking, all the colors, the big giant logo stretched out. This is the super fan's dream right here. I don't know that you need a leather jacket in Phoenix, but if you were like in the northern states and wanted to rep that you're a Suns fan, this is definitely the jacket for you. Now at number 2, we have a satin jacket from the NBA. I'm a bit partial to the NBA because I'm a bigger basketball fan than I am any other sport, but this one definitely is super dope and a bit historic. It's that Lakers satin jacket, the championship satin jacket, so it was probably produced in one of those years, the late 80s, when they won the championship, but such a cool piece, so fly. It's got like the yellow is more like gold on this thing because of the satin texture. Super sick. Only the dopest fans have this jacket. Definitely want this jacket if you're a Lakers fan and an NBA fan. This is a super cool jacket. Yellow just is so bright and golden. Definitely make you stand out amongst the crowd. Now before we get to number 1, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you like thrifting and vintage content like this. We have tons of it, and we're gonna keep it coming. All right, now for number 1. If you thought it was the Lakers, you're wrong. If you've watched the channel, you know that I'm a huge Spurs fan, and that is who is number 1 in my heart. And number 1 on this list, we have the Spurs satin starter jacket. It's so dope with the big old Fiesta logo on the back and the chest hit. Just incredible. This is the jacket I dream of. I am on the hunt for. I'm not gonna pay $350 for this particular jacket, but someday I will find it and I will wear the heck out of it. You better believe it. So cool. I definitely want to have my hands on this whenever I can. Whenever I can find it for the right price and the right size. Super dope. Go Spurs, go. All right, now that's the top 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will have more vintage starter content coming out this week, so pay attention if you want to learn a little bit and get in on the action. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.